direct you to Zenith Bank, Warner. I'm afraid we'll have to hurry. It's near closing time.
I'll get you there, Miss Van Gorder.
Introducing Miss Cornelia Van Gorder, mystery writer, recently returned to the town of Zenith to spend the summer, and blissfully unaware that this sleepy hamlet is the current home of the serial killer known as the Bat, or that she might be the next victim of the attack of the B-movies.
Miss Van Gorder.
How you do, Mr. Barry?
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. You remember Lizzie Allen?
Of course. Hello, Miss
How
Allen.
do you do?
So you're spending the summer with us again?
Yes. I've leased the Oaks, the home of your bank president, John Fleming.
I heard you had. I was surprised.
Why? Is there something the matter with it?
No. I was surprised because Mr. Fleming said he would never rent it.
Oh? Well, I rented it from his nephew, Mark Fleming, who has the real estate office here. He said his uncle would be gone the entire summer.
Well, that's right. Mr. Fleming's in the North Woods now with his physician, Dr. Wells. Oh, pardon me. Dale, I want you to meet my wife. We were married at Christmas time.
That must have been nice.
Believe me, it was. Oh, here she is.
Oh, dear.
My
How
wife,
do you
Miss
do?
Van Gorder, Miss Allen.
How do you do, Mrs.
How do you
Bailey?
do? Cornelia Van Gorder.
Yes.
Oh, well, I've read every murder mystery you've ever written. I just adored that weird one, The Private Morgue of Dr. X, even though it gave me the shivers.
Only the shivers? Scared hell out of me.
Oh.
Well, I really mean that Miss Corney killed them off in that one.
When you refer to my books, please don't call me Miss Corney.
Pardon me, Mr. Bailey. Mr. Hines is here to see you.
Oh, yes. Excuse me, please. Don't be strangers now.
No,
Oh,
no,
I
we
should
won't.
say not.
Oh, so you're a bride.
Well, not quite.
Not since Christmas.
You know, I'm sure I've seen you.
Well, I used to be my husband's secretary here in the bank.
Of course I remember.
May I welcome our most distinguished visitor back to Zenith?
Oh, that's very charming, but,
Lieutenant Anderson.
Lieutenant Anderson, of course. Chief of Detectives of the Zenith Police Department. This is Miss Allen.
Miss Allen?
How do you do?
Lieutenant Anderson is one of our favorite citizens. He's on the bank's board of directors.
Not bad for a policeman.
You must have made a good thing of it.
Well, I saved my money, if that's what you mean.
It's near closing time, and I've got some business in the safe deposit vault. Please come and see me, Mrs. Bailey.
Oh, I'd love to.
And you, Lieutenant.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Nice to meet you.
With Cornelia and Lizzie gone, Mr. Bailey fills Dale and Detective Andy in on some startling news. Someone has embezzled close to $1 million from the bank, and he's set to take the fall. Then it's off to the woods to meet vacationing bank president Victor Fleming and Dr. Wells. Fleming is quick to explain his crime. He stole the money and hid it in Cornelia's house, and he wants Wells to help him cover it up. Unfortunately for Fleming, Wells wants the money to himself, and he isn't too keen on the Hippocratic Oath.
As soon as I provide that body we were talking about.
Dr. Malcolm Wells is back in town with the body of John Fleming, president of the Zenith Bank, who was killed in a forest fire. Mr. Fleming will be laid to rest in his family's tomb on Friday.
And I hope he stays there.
Well, why shouldn't he?
Well, this is his house. And ever since he died, some funny things have happened here.
For instance?
The housekeeper, the cook, and the butler said that they heard strange noises at night. And the upstairs maid swore that she met a man without a face coming up the back stairs.
Oh, so that's why they quit and left me to run this place without a staff.
They didn't tell you, Miss Corney, but the truth is they were scared to stay.
But you're still here, Lizzie. Haven't you seen anything?
No. No, and even if I had, I ain't afraid of ghosts. They're afraid of me. Honest, Miss Corney, a spiritualist told me once that ghosts was allergic to me. But this Bat feller they keep talking about in the paper, I guess he'd be different.
No, I don't think you'd have the same effect on him.
Oh, dear. What are they trying to do? Drive people away from this part of the country?
Why? What does it say about the bats?
His specialty seems to be killing women. My goodness, 2 of them in one night. All his victims died the same way, like their throats had been ripped open with steel claws.
That's a charming little caper. I'll have to try it sometime.
In a book.
As our heroines continue to discuss the news of the day, we're treated to the standard scenes of things going bump in the night. Most are harmless, but one is definitely not.
Gordy! Oh! What's that? Oh, I went to get the paper. I turned the latch off. I forgot to turn it on again. He's out there. He was coming in. He might have got you.
Oh, but he didn't, and he's still out there, thanks to you. Now, you hurry now, and we'll call the police.
No, I won't leave you, Miss Corney.
Are you okay?
Yes, ma'am, I'm okay.
Okay.
Operator?
Give me the police department, please.
Zenith Police Department.
This is Cornelia Van Gorder. A man tried to force his way into this house. Now, there's only 2 of us here tonight, and we're going to lock ourselves in my room. Now, if any of your men see anything, will you have them call me?
I'll send officers over there right away.
Oh, relax, Lizzie. The police did a good job. They couldn't find anybody in here.
But we both saw him, Miss Cornelia.
All right, so he got away. But there are men on guard outside, so just try and get some rest. There's nothing can get at us here. You've had a nightmare.
Maybe I did. But there was a bat in it, and it bit me. It flew in that closet.
Oh, good gracious, Lizzie, you're right. Operator, will you get me Dr. Malcolm Wells' office, please? No, I don't know his number, and I have no phone book up here, but this is an emergency. Will you connect me with his office, please?
Oh, dear, I'm going to get the rabies.
Hello?
Hello? Dr. Wells' office?
This is a call service. Dr. Wells is out at the moment, but if you'll give me your name and number, I'll try to locate him.
And just where is Dr. Wells? Why, experimenting with bats, of course. Real live ones, too. Soon the call comes in, and Wells is off to treat Lizzie.
Now you feel better?
Doctor, have I got the rabies?
Well, I can tell you better after I've examined the bat's brain under a microscope.
That thing's got a brain?
Oh, you'd be surprised. Well, where is it?
I think the little darling is in that closet.
Oh. You know, it's a pity you leased this house, Miss Van Gorder.
Why a pity?
Well, my dear lady, I don't want to alarm you, but...
Oh, well, after tonight, nothing can alarm me.
Yes, I understand. It must have been terrifying. So many unexplainable things have happened here. There's something about the place. Your servants must have sensed it when they walked out on you. An apprehension of disaster. Well, let's see. Aha! Yes. There he is. All right, now, take it easy. Nobody's going to hurt you. Quiet now. Quiet. And he looks quite normal. Doesn't seem to be sick at all.
Oh, ain't that nice? I've been worried about him.
Well, you should be. From his appearance, I'd say that he doesn't have any infection. In which case, you've had a narrow escape. Now, you take one of those tablets I left for you, and I'll guarantee you a good night. And I'll drop in on you tomorrow.
Oh, thanks for everything, Doctor.
Now, don't worry, I can find my way out.
Oh, I know you can, but do let me help you.
Oh, don't forget that once I'm gone, you'll have to climb those stairs alone.
Oh, I'm all right. I'm armed now.
Can you shoot one of those things without shutting your eyes?
Oh, Doctor, there are guns in every book I've ever written. I don't write about things I'm unfamiliar with.
The next day, as Detective Andy meets with Mark, the local real estate agent, Cornelia and her pals sit down to tea with Mark's girlfriend, Judy.
You know something that we haven't heard yet, Judy?
Something I saw with my own eyes. She's not permitted to say what it was.
My dear girl, I wouldn't think of asking her. But let's assume for a moment that Fleming did steal the $1 million. Now, what would he do about it? Where is it?
Hidden someplace where he could lay his hands on it without getting caught in the act. Now, if I was writing this, instead of living in the middle of it, I'd hide it right here in this spooky old house.
Under a loose floorboard or up a chimney?
If Mr. Fleming had the nerve to steal $1 million, he'd make his plans well in advance. I'd say he'd prepare a place to hide it. Possibly when this house was being built. Now, I rented this place for Mark Fleming, his nephew. I wonder if he'd have floor plans.
I'll ask him.
Yes. Lizzie, will you bring Mrs. Bailey the phone? Oh, you ask him now. Okay. His number is Summit 7537.
Oh, thank you, Lizzie. Summit
7537.
Mark Fleming speaking. Oh, hello, Dale. Well, hang on a minute, honey, while I see if I have him. It's Dale Bailey, all excited. Miss Van Gorder wants to know if I have the floor plans of the Oaks. Now, what would she want with the floor plans?
Well, she suggested to me that your uncle might have hidden the bank loot there. Are the plans here?
Somewhere in the house itself. Wait a minute, there is a place where Uncle Johnny might have kept those blueprints.
What place?
Well, I heard him talk about it a good many years ago. I can't be sure of the exact location. Anyway, I don't think the old boy had the guts to steal $1 million. But if I find those plans, I'll let you know, Andy. Hello, Dale. Look, honey, I haven't seen those plans since I was a kid, but I'll come over tonight and maybe we can find them.
Thank you, Mark. We'll expect you. He seems to think they're here in the house somewhere. He's coming over tonight.
Well, that's good. Dale and Judy are my house guests for the weekend. Would you like to have dinner with us tonight?
Oh, no, thank you. I couldn't. I still have a few calls to make. You know, if Judy's testimony is going to clear Vic Bailey and implicate John Fleming, others may get the idea that there's buried treasure in this house. Don't even mention your testimony until you're actually on the stand.
Oh, I won't.
That's a smart girl, Judy. And a very lovely girl. Well, good afternoon, ladies.
Goodbye,
Doctor.
Dr. Will.
Come on, girls, let's go. as usual.
Wonderful. Oh, what a lovely piece of silver. It's an original, isn't it?
Interesting. It's very useful. Really nice.
That clock hasn't struck the hour in the last 10 years, if I'm to believe what Mark Fleming told me.
Why is it angled away from the wall like that?
I don't know. Somebody must have moved it. Lizzie, very likely when she was dusting.
Wait a minute. Did you know there's a door in this paneling?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
My gracious, so there is.
Maybe it opens to a secret passage.
Well, certainly to a secret something.
exciting.
Who knows, girls? We'll be about to stumble on that missing million.
This is a panel. There's a panel. There must be some gimmick to it. There always is.
Yes, it moves. It moves. It moves. Oh, look.
Calling car 11. Calling car 11. Proceed to the Oaks in Zenith Township immediately. A homicide has been reported.
As Detective Andy and Dr. Wells examine the body, we're introduced to two new characters. Cornelia's new housekeeper, Mrs. Patterson, and her butler, Warner, both of whom have shaky alibis.
Why did you promote him?
But it's very difficult to find a butler. They don't like service in the country.
Have you been a butler before?
I've served in many capacities, sir, but this was my night off, and I forgot my keys.
I heard that part. What time did you leave the house tonight?
Oh, about 6:30. I had dinner at Wiley's Roadhouse.
Can you prove where you spent the rest of the evening?
I can try.
Try hard. And don't leave the house. I'll get to you later.
Very good, sir. I shall be in my room, Miss Van Gorder, if you need me.
Yes, Warner. Surely you don't think he's...
Warren and I have met before. I can't recall where or when. There'll be a crew here shortly from headquarters, dusting for fingerprints, taking photographs. But in the meantime, Mrs. Patterson, you aren't leaving the house tonight, are you?
No, Lieutenant.
Don't. I'll talk to you in the morning. Good night.
Good night, sir. Good night, Miss Van Gorder.
Dale, I was with Mark Fleming this afternoon when you talked to him about the floor plans of this house. I heard him tell you he was coming here tonight.
Dale called him at my request. She told me he was coming.
Who else should I tell you that?
Judy, Lizzie.
And that nice Dr. Wells.
Dr. Wells. There are a few killers who kill for the fun of it. The bat very likely is a mental case, and I'm convinced that his crimes are motivated by his mania for personal gain. There's $1 million at large, and he's going to keep on hunting for it until he lays his hands on it. Now, these young ladies are staying here tonight?
Yes, they're my house guests.
Well, when my crew arrives, we'll be busy for a while, so I'd suggest that
we go to our rooms? That's a very good idea. Come on, girls. What about a police guard for this house tonight, Lieutenant?
You've got one. I'm going to cover this place tonight from the attic to the basement. If the bat makes another call, I'll have a little surprise for him.
You staying here tonight, Andy?
Well, until I check the doors and windows, but I'll be back bright and early in the morning.
Neither snow, nor rain, nor heat, nor gloom of night stays these couriers from the swift completion of their appointed rounds.
A lot of people are due for a shock when I close this case.
Yes, I'm sure they are. Good night, Andy. Don't get hurt.
Good night, Doctor.
That night, as the girls try to sleep, the bat returns and explores an attic room above Dale and Judy's bedroom.
What's that noise? Oh, I don't know. I kind of fell half asleep. For a moment, I thought it was something from a dream.
Should we call Miss Van Gorder?
She'll hear it. How can she help but hear it? Oh, besides, we don't want her to think we're a couple of hysterical women.
Well, I'm about to become one.
Oh,
I've
dear.
had it for one night. Dale, you're not going out in that hall.
I want to know what's happening up there.
But Lieutenant Anderson said if we stayed behind our locked doors, we'd be safe.
Vic isn't safe locked up in that jail. Suppose that stolen money is in this house. Mark Fleming seemed to think it was. Maybe that's what somebody's looking for.
Now, Lizzie, you've just got to stay awake. The house phone and the outside phone wires have been cut, and we can't get help.
Where's that policeman?
Oh, I don't know. Something must have happened to him. Now, go on, get on your robe.
Oh, Dale, please don't go up there. I've got to. Think what it could mean to Vic. Now, you stay here.
Oh, no. If you go, I go.
Alone. You wait here. I'm going to see what it is.
Oh, please let me go with you,
Judy, will you warn me if anyone comes? I'll only be a moment. Now, wait.
As our heroines grieve for their friend, Dr. Wells comes face to face with the Bat.
People think that I'm the Bat. But you had to kill me first. What was it to be, ambush? And clever as you are, you're not smart enough to do that. Nor were you smart enough to find the money, though you came quite close to it. But I know where it is. And when you're dead with that sign pinned on your chest, I'm going to collect it and live happily ever after. He destroyed himself. How true that will be. Well, goodbye, Bat. Here's a serum that will heal you whether you're rabid or not.
Back at the house, Cornelia and the gang have found a secret room and a secret safe. The Bat soon arrives, setting the garage on fire to lure the gang outside. But Cornelia, her friends, and a random policeman are too clever for that, and wait inside to trap the Bat.
Let's face it, ladies, and get it over with. Others have seen my face before they died, but I'll have to deny you that pleasure. This would make a good scene for your book, Miss Van Gorder, but I'm afraid you'll never write it.
That is Warner. I could tell.
You misjudged me, Miss Ellen.
Warner!
I don't like being a murder suspect, Miss Van Gorder. I was headed for a plane, but halfway to the airport, I changed my mind and came back. I'm glad that I did.